The late and legendary trainer Cus D'Amato was the only real father figure Mike Tyson ever knew. Marvis Frazier's father, ever present in his life, is one of the most famous names in heavyweight boxing.
Two sons of boxing legends. On one side stood the fearsome Mike Tyson, a 20-year-old wrecking machine molded by the teachings of Cus D'Amato, the father figure who transformed him into a phenomenon. On the other was Marvis Frazier, son of the legendary Joe Frazier, carrying the weight of his father's towering legacy on his shoulders. The fight promised a battle of legacy versus ferocity, but what unfolded was a spectacle that would leave the boxing world in shock.
Introducing Mike Tyson.
By 1986, Mike Tyson was an unstoppable force in the heavyweight division. At just 20 years old, he was undefeated with 24 consecutive wins, 22 of which came by devastating knockouts.
To be a pro fighter, I'm the master of the pinpoint. My shots are so accurate and so precise, not to be egotistic, but when they land, they're so precise, I can't help it who you are. You have to go down, because there's a law when Mike Tyson hits you.
Under the mentorship of Cus D'Amato, Tyson had become a symbol of raw power and ruthless precision, striking fear into the hearts of seasoned fighters. Despite Cus's passing a year earlier, Tyson carried his legacy into the ring, annihilating every opponent that came his way. His meteoric rise had already earned him moniker, the baddest man on the planet. On the other side was Marvis Frazier, son of the legendary Joe Frazier. While he was an accomplished fighter with a respectable 16-1 record, Marvis lived under the shadow of his father's illustrious career.
You know, if they say fight King Kong, I'm ready. All I have to do is get my body in condition and my mind and spirit, and I'm ready. With my pop in my corner, I don't see any way that I can lose.
Trained by Joe himself, Marvis was a skillful boxer, but lacked the brute force and tenacity that had made his father a champion. He had the tools, a decent left hook, and was solid in the ring, though many saw him as a fighter just a step below the elite. His single loss before meeting Tyson was a brutal first-round defeat to the legendary Larry Holmes, a fight many believed exposed the limitations of his ability to handle heavy hitters.
When we're in the boxing ring, he's the trainer. You know, when we're outside the boxing ring, he's the father. If I get to the point where I'm hurt or he sees that I can't defend myself, he'll waste no time. He'll stop the fight. But I don't see that happening.
With Tyson on a relentless path to the heavyweight crown, and Marvis seeking redemption and a chance to live up to his father's name, the stage was set for a showdown. The fight was billed as Tyson's toughest test yet, and Marvis's chance to silence his critics. What followed, however, was a spectacle that no one would forget. The night of July 26, 1986, arrived with palpable tension as the two men entered the ring at the Glens Falls Civic Center in New York. Marvis was coming off a series of wins and believed he had the skills to tame Tyson's storm. But Tyson was hungry, not just to win but to annihilate. From the opening round, Tyson was relentless. He darted across the ring, cornering Frazier with his trademark head movement and lightning-fast footwork. Marvis tried to keep his distance, using his jab to set up punches, but Tyson's speed and power were overwhelming. With his left jab, he drove Frazier into the ropes. Trapped in the corner, Frazier had nowhere to run. And then came the storm, two devastating uppercuts. The second one, a brutal knockout punch, but Tyson wasn't done yet. He landed two more lightning-fast shots as Frazier crumbled to the canvas. The referee counted, but it was clear. The fight was over in just 30 seconds. Tyson had claimed victory in the shortest bout of his career, with Marvis unable to withstand the onslaught. The crowd was stunned. No one had expected such a dominant display, not in this fashion. For Tyson, this was just another notch on his belt, another victim to add to his growing legacy. But for Marvis, it was a painful reminder of the gap between him and the true heavyweight elite. The aftermath of the fight was harsh. Tyson solidified his place at the top, while Marvis's dreams of living up to his father's legacy seemed further out of reach than ever. Tyson's dominance in the ring only cemented his reputation as the most feared heavyweight of his time. Within months, he would go on to become the youngest heavyweight champion in history, unifying the titles and cementing his place in boxing lore. But for Marvis Frazier, the fight was a crushing blow to his career. The once promising contender, weighed down by the expectations of living up to his father's greatness, never quite recovered from the loss. His career stagnated, and despite a few victories, he never reached the heights that many had hoped for. Marvis retired in 1995, with a record far from the championship dreams he once harbored. Though he fought valiantly, his career was marred by his inability to shake off the shadow of his legendary father. Meanwhile, Tyson's career would take many dramatic turns, rising to heights of fame and wealth before falling into turmoil with legal issues and personal struggles. Tyson's reign as the most feared fighter ended with a devastating loss to Buster Douglas in 1990. But his legacy as one of boxing's most explosive talents remains untarnished. What do you think about that 30-second knockout? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button for more epic boxing moments.